And with the pick, the 22nd pick, the Eagles, yes! Selecting Micah Parsons' favorite player for the second straight year, quarterback out of Toledo, Quinyon Mitchell. Oh, man. Hold on. Let me pull up my stats and all my notes. We'll do the video, and then we'll check in on him. Quinyon Mitchell out of Toledo, a 4.33 40. Holy moly, is this guy fast. He had 6 interceptions. 2 of them he took back for touchdowns. Quote, an elite cover man that dominated the Senior Bowl and blazed the combine. Wow, he squatted 555 pounds and in practice ran 23.6 miles an hour. You know what? Before we get to the video, Micah, how you feeling?
I mean, I'm honestly utterly disgusted on how lucky the Eagles are. It's just like Chris, I do not know how he fell that far with this run of offensive tackles and quarterbacks. That's the only thing that makes sense. I thought he was a top 15, top 12 talent, and he just fell right into their laps.
And he was your favorite player?
He was definitely one of my more favorite players in this draft. Like I said, he rose in every bar. He hit he checked every box. And like I said, we don't know what Darius, and the mentors, he has one of the best quarterbacks to play the game, Darius Slay, to mentor him. They still got Elias Ricks, who stepped over big time last year.
Yes, he did.
They got James Bradbury, a guy who may not have the big year he wanted, like the year he had before, his all-pro year, but he's still a good quality player, and you just add him and he can play inside or out. I think this is a great pick. I mean, I think this is a terrific pick, man. I don't know how Howie and them get so lucky. That's how I'm going to put it.
Oh, Renner, talk me through Quinyon Mitchell.
He is probably pound for pound one of the strongest cornerbacks I've ever scouted. When wide receivers run into him, they crumple, man. He had a rep against Ricky Pearsall, the Florida wide receiver in the one-on-ones at the Senior Bowl. 5 yards down the football field, Pearsall just falls on his face. Just because he's so solidly built, led the FBS over the past 2 seasons with 27 pass breakups at the catch point, an absolute dog. Like, guys had their hands on footballs. He hits your arms. You ain't catching that football. And he was great in off coverage. He barely played press throughout his Toledo career, less than 2% of it, 10% of his snaps over the course of his career. And so when he has eyes on the receiver to the quarterback, he could attack right at the right point. And then the freak athleticism, 4.33, and he goes to a Vic Fangio scheme where it's a lot of off zone. That's what he's going to be doing. That's exactly what he did at Toledo. So a guy that could probably step in right away. Don't know how the Eagles continue to do it, but this is an A-plus pick, man. Exactly what the doctor ordered.
There were rumors all week that Howie was going to trade up to take a corner. He didn't have to trade up, and he gets his favorite corner. Darius Slay tweeting, yes, sir, we working. Speaking of tweets and comments, let me read some comments here from our app. Swaggy W says, Micah can't believe the setup, LOL. Brave Champs, Micah ready to go to bed now. D. Glizzy, Micah triggered, all caps. Pocket Sand, Eagles took a dump in Micah's Cheerios. 215 Swaggy, Micah is sick. He looks motivated.
Yeah, I mean, he just fell to 22. And I think he's better than, and that happens.
He could have gone 8.
Literally. You know, when you fall and you know you're so much better than a lot of players that's going before you, I mean, there was guys that was taken that played 8 games. There's guys that were reaching their products. You don't really know where they're going to fit, but these teams are trying to reset the money, reset the clock. And I just can't believe he fell to 22.
Would you like a formal investigation into how Howie keeps doing this? Do you think the draft is rigged?
I don't think it's rigged. I just think he's done a great job over the past couple of years, thinking of future, thinking of how he wants to build his team, and he capitalizes on them. He's not afraid to let people walk. He's not afraid to let them, pay him. He knows who he wants. He knows who he believes in, and that's always a direct motive.
CJ, I do think your perspective, the fact that you played him and you did see Marvin Harrison, getting ready for him and watching the film and then seeing him in person, what do you learn about a corner through that process?
Well, it was kind of unique because it was week 2, I believe.
it was week 3, and it wasn't a ton of tape on him yet. But what did pop out was just his ability to kind of read routes, and he plays everything kind of honest. Like he's not a guy who like jumps everything. He's someone who plays it honest like that, and that's what, as a quarterback, for me, I like that more than a guy. I don't mind a guy jumping stuff every once in a while, or like super aggressive to get a pick. Like you can use ball placement and body position and double moves to keep him honest. Guys who play things honest, it's hard because there's not a lot of separation. So I mean, if he can be a sticky cover guy like with that pass rush, man, that's gonna be hard to stop. You know, so then he'll have Darius Slay to learn from, which I think is huge. So I like this pick. It's a great pick.
Can I get my ISO really quick? Just briefly. We have been waiting, the Philadelphia Eagles fan base, for a moment like this for 22 years. We have been getting smoked by wide receivers these last 2 seasons, and we knew it wasn't necessary. We got the athletic freak that committed 0 pass interference penalties last year. And you saw how Micah Parsons reacted. When Micah reacts that way, you know the pick is good. And I just want to say, we did it. We did it. Okay. That felt good. Let me write it. I have to write it down. Quinyon.
No, you know you got it written down. That's his 3rd time, Micah. Yeah,
Oh, that is the 3. That is the 3. But I'm your employee.
If I would have did it, he would have been so mad.
Now we have Jackson